Welcome everyone to today's office hours. Happy Monday. We are on week 3, office hours 1. Let me go ahead and share my screen to show you where did we stop in the previous office hours. We had this wireframe that we wanted to build, right? Here was our index. Let me have a quick recap on what did we do. Let me grab this wireframe right here in the bottom. Okay. We said that we wanted to be having a container. This container is going to contain all of our styling and all of our content, right? In the blue box. Then in this container, we wanted to be having a header, big header. This big header should have been having 2 layers or 2 dimensions. This is the first side of the header, let's say nav top, and this is the second one, let's say nav bottom, right? We did stop at this point in the previous lecture, right? We wanted to continue in this office hours. So what is missing for us today to be building in this office hours is the big banner that we are seeing right here. Let me change this color. Undo, change the color to green, and yeah, here you go. This banner right here, right? We wanted to build it. Then our next structure for our Lego concept was that we will be having another div right here. We're going to say name it row, for example, because it will be containing 2 columns. This is column number 1, and this is column number 2. Okay. Where did we stop last time? We stopped. Let me change right here. We stopped at this header that we did have in the last time. We had the logo, we had those links right here. Let me go ahead and show you where are we. Let me go live here. And that was our page for the previous time, right? If we do like this, and let me see. Okay. Let me expand it again and do like this and like this. Okay. So right here, we are having our container, right? Here is our container as well. Here is our logo. Here is our logo. Here are our links or our bottom nav or our nav. Here is our navs, right? We are having this separator or border bottom, and we are having it here right now as well, right? So what is the next step is for us to be building this banner right here. So we need an HTML tag, of course. Can you guys suggest or guess what can this tag could be for this banner right here that is going to be inserted, let's say, in this section right here that we are going to build? Let me have suggestions from the chat, or anyone can unmute himself or herself. What can be this HTML tag for this banner right here?
Like an image?
That's
tag?
right. So, yeah, that's right. It's going to be an image tag. We are going to adjust its width and height in order for it to be placed in this portion for this section in the web page or in our container, right? Yeah, okay. So this is the next step, but before jumping to the next step, I want to have another recap on the elements that we did have. Let's see right here. Okay, so we had this container, big one, having contained in it all of our elements. We only have this element right here, which is the header. Of course, we are going to be having right here banner, then the rest of the divs, just as we said right here in the Lego concept. Okay. So this container, we wanted to style it in order for it to be displayed just as this container right here. So let's check its styling. Here is our CSS. We said dot container. We selected it with the container, which is the class name. I gave the div a class name of container. So I grabbed this container and inserted it right here with a dot in front of it or in the beginning of it because I'm selecting it as a class name. So I'm targeting and selecting this container to be styled. I gave it width of 70% because it's not taking the 100% of the width of the page. It's only taking 70% or 60% of its portion. Had border to it. Here is the border, just as we see, right? In all of its dimensions. Margin 0 pixels auto. Can anyone tell me what is margin 0 pixels auto is doing? Anybody? Let me have a quick look on the chat. Centering it. That's right. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say the same thing, kind of centers it on the page.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you so much for this, Robin and Aina. When we say margin 0 pixels auto, I'm saying like don't have any spacings from the top or the bottom. Have auto movement or auto spacing from the left and the right. So it is going to be centered in the middle of the page, just as you guys suggest. I'm only giving it height because we want to imagine how can it be. So this height will be removed right after we fill it with the content that we have. Okay. That was for the container right here. Then we had the big header that we were having. That big header had two parts or two portions. The first one was the logo, this image tag right here, this image tag right here, right? Let me go ahead and check its CSS. In order for us to call it in the CSS, we need to select it. We gave it a class name of logo-image. I went ahead and copied that class name and inserted right here in the CSS with the dot logo.image. And I gave it width of 200 pixels because I need to give it some dimensions. Because if I go ahead right here and comment this width, as you see, here are the dimensions of our image. We don't want this. We want it to be contained, or we want it to be few smaller or smaller. So that's why I gave it 200 pixels only. So it can be having this width right here. Okay. What else that we were having was the nav, right? Those links that we are having right here, those links. I selected all of them by their parent. I said nav bigger than A. By doing this, I'm selecting all of the A tags inside of my nav div. Here is my nav div. Okay, so I'm selecting all of its inner A tags by this syntax right here. Okay, and I gave it text decoration none. I removed all of its underlined text. I gave it color of black because the coloring of it right here is black. Okay, background color of, let's say, light gray, just as this background color. Give it some paddings and some margins in order for it to be displayed as this you are seeing right here. As you guys suggested, this right here, next step, is going to be a image tag. We will be having this image tag to be placed, let's say, in this portion right here. So let's go ahead and have our structure first. Our structure is going to be in our HTML, right? So let me go ahead and go to my HTML. And I want you guys to tell me in which line am I going to insert this image tag? Here is our container. So I want you to tell me we are going to insert an image tag right now. I want you to guess or tell me in which line are we going to insert this image tag. Anyone can guess? We are done with the header. The next step is going to be the image tag right here. So where is it going to be placed? Line 22. Let me check line 22. Yes, that's right. So we are going to have it, let's say right here. Why is this? Because as I said, we ended our header right here. So right after our header, right after our closing tag for the header, that means we are out of our header. Right after we finish our header, we are still on the container, right? So before or right after, before the container is ending, and right after the header is ending, so it's going to be between them our banner image, okay? So I'm going to create the image tag, and I'm going to give it a class name of banner image, for example. And we can go ahead and select this image from the internet. I want you guys to help me with this. Here is our web page. Let me expand it. Let's go to Google. Okay, so let me give you a quick suggestion about what is happening right here. Okay. When we are selecting these images or any images from Google or from online websites, we need to be respecting the dimensions. Our dimensions may be horizontally and our dimensions may be vertically, okay? If we are going to choose images that are going to be horizontally, just as this image right here, we need to be selecting their width is bigger than their height, okay? So that is the thing that we will be doing, or that is the thing that we will be writing in Google right here. So let's say Marvel background, for example. And let's give it these dimensions right here because this dimension is going to give it or to provide to us only, let's say, horizontal backgrounds, not vertical backgrounds, right? Respecting right here our banner right here. This is horizontal, so we will be picking horizontal backgrounds. And let's have a vote. Let me grab this one as 1, this one as 2, this one as 3, and 4. Okay, so let's have suggestions from the chat. 1, 2, 3, or 4. 2, 4, and I'm going to pick 1. Okay, so let's count in the end. I want all of you guys to give us your opinion. Okay, so we have two twos, okay, and 2 4s and 1 1. Okay, so 2 versus 4. So we have here this one, and we have here this one. Okay. This is really hard for me to decide. Okay, so we are going to play heads and tails. Okay. For the 2 right here, which is this one. Okay. What is happening? Wait, Google, wait. For this one right here is going to be 2. For this one right here is going to be 4. So heads is going to be 2, tails is going to be 4. Let's see. Tails. So we're going to go with 4 right here. This one we will be picking. That was fate, not me. Don't judge me. I didn't choose. Okay. So let's save this image right here on our correct folder. We are on office hours, week 3, office hours 1, week 3 for April, right here in the assets folder. Let's name it banner. And let me save it. Head back right here. Grab my HTML, check if the image is right here. Yes, there you go. So as long as my image is in its right directory, I can go ahead and call it from right here. By having my auto correction or auto suggestion by saying control plus space right here, it's going to tell me you have assets, index, script. What is the thing that you want to access, or where is your image located? It is in the assets folder. Is it the logo or is it the banner? It is the banner. Okay, let me save and go back, see how it is going to be displayed. as you see, it is displayed as this. So what do we want to do right now? We want to go ahead and give it styling. We want to set for it width and height. Okay, so here is our image. I can go ahead and style it by selecting the class name, by saying right here dot plus the class name, and say take 100% of your container. So it is going to be like this. Okay, but here is the thing. I think that this image, yes, it is not exceeding the width of our container, so this is right, but its height is not just as we have in our wireframe, right? It is supposed to be stopping, let's say, right here, not by the end of our container, like not taking the whole height of our container. So we have 2 steps to do this. I'm going to tell you if we are going to specify height for it. It's not going, you guys are not going to like it. So let me tell you, let's say height of only 400 pixels, for example. As you see, it is going to take the height that we want, but as you see, it is not displayed well, right? So this is not the best approach. The best approach can be, as I'm going to tell you right now. Let me go ahead and grab it from our folder directory. Where are we? There you go. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and crop it in any of our cropping tools. Okay, let's select only starting from right here till right here. Okay, so this is going to be our image. Let me save and go back, and of course remove the height that I added. As you see, this is better. Okay, but what if you guys wanted it to be displayed with this portion or with this height and being of the actual width and height? Like, let me have it back and let me get back to our height. Okay, this right here, our image right here is pixeled, right? We don't want this. What did we do is we went ahead and cropped it so we can have only the important parts from it that we need to be displayed, just as this example right here. And we can remove the height, so the image is going to be auto-adjusted automatically right here. So the thing is, we developers, we have these design from other people, from designers or from UX UI developers. They are going to set these images for us and set it to us upon our portions. So the image itself will be suitable and taking the right dimensions automatically. Like the image will be sent to us just as this example right you are seeing right here that you are seeing. Okay, so you don't need to be dealing with the height right here, but if you are going to deal with the height, make sure that it is not pixeled. So I prefer to crop it this way to be viewing or showing only the important parts of the image, so it can be displayed in 100% of the width without having any pixeled while I'm dealing with the height. Did you guys get what I mean? Any questions so far? I can show you also another example. Let me show you right here, this example right here. So this is the thing that I am talking with you right here. This thing that you are going to see right now, it's just loading. Why is it taking so much time? Okay, it is about to load. Yeah, okay. So this thing that you are seeing right here is a design that was built by designers, okay? We, in the future, if we are going to be front-end developers, or if you are going to have these designs and change them or convert them from just designs, just as you see, into interactive web pages. So these links can be clicked. These links can be redirecting you to other pages and have the functionalities of our websites. This is the only thing that we are receiving, which is the design. So if you focus right here, these images are having their own width and height that are suitable for the actual divs that we are having right here. So this div, this image is suitable to it. It's not oversized of it or less size of it. It's suitable because designers built this, okay? So they had to crop the image in order for it to be displayed in a certain way, all of these things, okay? Also for the columns right here, okay? They will be directing to you or sending to you these images in their right dimensions, right here, their actual width and height, and so on. Okay, so we don't need to be dealing with these things in the future, but for now, the best approach for us to cut and crop these images in order for them to be displayed well. Okay. Okay, perfect. So we have our banner. Let's go ahead and compare it with our design right here. Do you think that we need to add anything to our banner? Is anything missing to our banner? Yes or no? No, right? Hello, Pio. Hope you are feeling well. I think the only thing that is, yeah. I think the only thing that is missing to our banner is the border bottom, right? Right here. Yeah, so we can go ahead and add it by saying to this class name, let me remove the height, we don't need it anymore. Banner image, please be having a border bottom of, let's say, 2 pixels of solid black. Its color is going to be black. There you go, it is added, but it's not appearing well. So if we can expand the 3 pixels from 2 pixels to 3 pixels, is going to be better right here. Let me expand it as well in our nav. Instead of 2 pixels, where is our nav? Let me search for border. Yeah, here. 3 pixels. Okay. Okay, so again, let me close this one. For this wireframe, header done, banner done. That leads us to this section or this part right here. Right? I said we would be having a, let's say, main section, div called the main section. This main section is going to be having section left, section right. Section left is going to be having h1 tag, right? Also p tags. This is for the section left. For the section right, is going to be having, is it going to be having another h1 tag? Yes or no? No from Robin, right? Yeah. Because as we said, we will be only having h1 tag per our web page. So let's say this event is going to be h2 tag, okay? So it's going to be having h2 tags, which is the events, also p tags. This is our structure. Then we are going to understand or to get to know how we are going to design them and place them in one row with 2 columns inside. We're going to figure out everything. But let's go ahead with our structure. We said that we will be having a main section right after our banner. So inside of our container, right after our banner, we are going to be having div of class name called main section dash section, right? This main section is going to be having 2 more divs. Div number 1 is going to be section left. Section left is going to be having, let me zoom in so we can see. It's going to be having h1. This is h1. Also, it's going to be having p tag and p tag, right? Are you guys following up with me? Perfect. So inside of our section left, which is inside of our main section, we are going to be having in the section left, as we said, H1, saying welcome to the site, right? Then inside of the section left as well, we're going to be having p tag. Let's give it random text by saying lorem. Let me have format document right here. Also another p tag or let me add another lorem inside of the lorem by saying one more lorem. Let me format again. Okay. Okay. I can go ahead and add another one by saying another, or let me add it in an extra p tag. So let me say p tag lorem. Let me format again. There you go. This is for our section left, right? So this, let me zoom out. Okay. Let me have a quick look on the chat. Okay. This div that we are seeing, which is section left, is this one right here. Any questions, comments, concerns? All good? Okay, perfect. That was for our section left. We can go ahead and see how it is viewed and displayed in our web page first. Let me have a look on the chat first. Okay. Where is our web page? Here is our web page. Here is our section left. We have here spelling mistake. We need to change it. Welcome to the site. There you go. Okay. Here is our section left. We are going to be having also, as we said, section right. So right after our section left ends, we are going to be having section right. So let me go ahead and add this div dot section right. Okay. What are the contents or what are the tags of section right? We said H2. We said P, right? So let me go ahead and add them by saying H2 events in uppercase. Okay. Then P, lorem, format. There you go. Another lorem, and format. There you go. Let's check how it is displayed as well. Clear the annotation. Let's check together. There you go. Right now, I can go ahead and remove my height from my container. So it can be ending with our content right here, as you see. Okay. Is this the thing that we are seeing right here? Is the wireframe that we are having? No, right? Why? Because in our wireframe, we had this on the left, this colon, welcome to the website, is on the left, and this events is on the right, and they are on the same row or in the same, on the same row or in the same line. So we have welcome to the site on the left, events on the right. But in our web page, they are under each other's. Welcome to the site. Then we have events. So what do we need to do? We need to split right here, this page, and have these events in the right-hand side right here. Do you guys agree with me? Right? Okay. I don't know how to do this. Can anyone help me?
Believe we're gonna have to display flex on the parent element and then
Okay.
justify content.
Okay, yes, that's right. This will work. But this is the thing that we will be covering in today's lecture. Okay, so this demo that we are having right here is the demo or is the practice for another concept, which was, as we have on the chat from Aina, display inline block. Okay, so we need to be dealing with the concept display inline block instead of flex for now. Okay, but thanks for your answer, of course, Robin. So instead of doing flex, we are going to do display inline block just as Pio and Anna said from the chat. Yes. Okay, so which class names are we going to select to apply display inline block to it? And what is display inline block doing? Can anyone help me?
Changes things from being right underneath each other to being in the same line with each other.
That's right. That's right. So we need to be giving section left and section right, both of them. We're going to give them display inline block. We are telling the HTML, or we are telling our web page, hey, this div right here, which is ending right here. Okay, so sorry for my drawing. And this div right here, which is ending right here. We need both of them to be displayed in one line. So this one is going to take display inline flex, inline, and so on. And this one as well is going to be displayed in inline block. So both of them are going to be having the CSS property display inline block. What is waiting for us? Let's go ahead and see. Hello, section left. Hello, section left. Come here. Let me select it on my styling by saying dot section left. Also, dot section right. Both of you display inline block. If I save and go back, they are not in the same line. They are not in the same row. Why is this? Can anyone think, or can anyone give me suggestion? You, Instructor Ahmed, told us if we want any two divs to be displayed in one row, we're going to give both of those two divs the CSS property display inline block. Right now, we did it. We gave both of them, we gave both of them section left, section right. Both of you take the CSS property display inline block, just as Ahmed said, but they are not displayed in the same row. And I don't know the answer. Can anyone help me? Let me see the chat. Is it because of the white space? You have to change the width, maybe. Maybe do the one at a time. Okay. We have only one correct answer right here. Okay. But let me do just as Pio said right here and do it one at a time by saying dot section left, display inline block. Also, dot section right, display inline block. Let me see. And no, still not working. So the correct answer that we did have from Anna, which was change the width. That's right. Okay. Why? Because, let me have my annotation. Here is section left, right? In the red and in the blue is my section right. Okay. So section right, which is in the blue, is going to be placed right beside of my section left, which is in the red, if it has space to be placed next to it. So when we say space, that means dimensions, that means width. That's right. So we can go ahead and specify width to this red container right here, which is the left, and tell it like stop on only 60% or only 40% or only 50% of the container. So this event can be having enough space to take the rest of the 100%. It may not be clear when I say it by words, But when I try to do it with the CSS, maybe it's going to make sense, okay? So if I go to section left and section right and say both of them take width of, let's say, 40%, for example, right now they are going to be in the same row, right? Why? Because right now this is 40% only, okay? So this other div, because right now it is having enough space to be placed right beside of this one, because it is as well having 40% of the width. So the rest is 20%, right? So right after this positioning that we had, they have the space to be placed right beside of each others. But let's compare with our container right here, okay? Sorry, with our styling right here or with our wireframe, we are going to see that both of them are not having the exact width, right? This one is bigger than this one, right? So can you guys guess how many percentage this can take and how many percentage this can take? Anybody? But they are not 40%. Like both of them are not 40%. This one is bigger. Both of them are not going.
60%.
Yes, that's right. So let's say this one is going to be 60%. This one is going to be the rest, which is 40%, for example, or something as this. Or just as Robin said, maybe this one is going to be 65% and this one is going to be 35%. Let's try to add these properties and see. So if I go and remove my width from both of them, right now they are both taking 100%, so they don't have enough space to be placed right beside of each others. So if I go and grab my section left, which is the bigger one, and say width of 60%, if I save and go back, yes, this one is taking 60%, but this one is not standing beside of it because it is still doesn't have the space to be placed inside beside of it. So if I give it to the section right a width of, let's say, 30%, there you go. If I expand it a little bit by saying 35%, if I say 40%, it is going to be entering a new line because it doesn't have the space. Because remember that we right here having a border of 2 pixels, having border of 2 pixels. So it is exceeding the 100%. Okay, so we need to be we don't need to give them exact 100%. So 60% plus 40% is 100. We are having few width few width of the border right here, so we need to increase or decrease this width by saying this one is going to be like 55% and this one is going to be 40%. Okay, so for the positioning to them, they are positioned well, but they are not positioned well vertically, right? We need to be aligning them to the top. This welcome to the site needs to be right here with our events, because in our wireframe, let me clear the annotation, both of them are starting from the same point, right? In our web page, no, they are not starting in the same point, as you see right here. Can anyone guess or try to think what is going to be the CSS property to align both of them or to be having them in the same starting point from the top? Any guesses? Let me see the chat. Padding. Okay, padding can work, but it will not be responsive. But we have align item stop and align top. Align item stop. Okay, all of the things that you have said is not going to work, but let me show you. Okay, so align item stop. Where should I add it? right here, or in their main section, the section that is gathering both of them. Main section is gathering main section left or section left, also section right. Okay, so anyway, let's try. So if I added right here line items, what did you guys say? Align items top. Okay, so if I say align items from the what I'm going to tell you, align items doesn't have the value of top. No, it has those values: baseline, center, end, flex start, flex end, those things. It doesn't have top. No. So it is not going to be align items. Okay. For the padding, yes, it can work, but it will not be responsive. And where should I add the padding? Can you tell me? Who, Pio? Because you were the one that suggested padding. Where should I be adding this padding that you suggested? This padding is going to be added to the section left, and of course, yes, that's right, on the left, and of course, from which dimension, from which side am I going to add this padding? Is the padding is going to be padding top or padding bottom or padding left or padding right? Which side? Padding top. Okay. When I say padding top, and thank you for your answer, okay. When I say padding top, I'm creating spacing from the top. So I'm pushing it down, or I'm pushing it to the bottom. So I need to do the opposite. I need to create padding bottom in order for me to push it from the bottom to the top. So it is going to be padding bottom, okay? Yeah, so I'm going to change it from padding top to padding bottom to the section left by saying padding bottom, let's say 40 pixels. No. Let's say 140 pixels. No. Why is this? Because it is adding the inner spacing, but it's not removing this one. So instead of saying padding, we are going to say margin, right? Because we need to move its outer. So let's say margin bottom and check, and nothing is working as well. But if we say margin top, let me clear it for now and return to normal. Here is the normal way, right? Yes, I'm going to say margin. And I told you the last time that we can use margin with negative pixels. So if I say margin top negative, it is also not working. Margin top. Why don't we say negative 20 pixels, for example? Okay, it is not working as well. So it is not going to be margin. It's not going to be padding as well. It's not going to be align items. What can be the right CSS property? It is going to be a vertical align. Okay. And we are going to add it to, let's try. If we added the vertical align to both of them, let's say top, right here. I'm not doing any magic, okay? But the right CSS property, in order for us to be aligning our columns in their right alignment, for example, top, bottom, center, or middle, or anything, is going to be a vertical align. Okay? Where did I add it? To the section left and section right. Both of them, the section left, also the section right, I want both of you to be aligned vertically at the top. Is this making sense? Right? Okay. I want to try to be adding this vertical align top to our parent container to them, which is the main section. So I can go ahead and style it by saying dot main section vertical align top. Let me see if it's going to work or not. It's not going to work. Okay. So vertical align doesn't work with the parent. Why is main section is their parent? Because right here we have div main section. Inside of this div, we have section left, we have section right. So that means main section is their parent. When I tried to align items in this parent, it didn't work. So I need to go to both of the children or to both of the divs and say vertical align top. Boom, there you go. Okay. I want to hear any questions, comments, or concerns. You have your floor right now for any questions. But let me, before I take the questions, tell you that we need to create inner spacing right here. Inner spacing right here. Also, we need to be having this border right here. We don't have them in our web page, as you see. We don't have the inner spacing. We don't have the inner spacing. And we don't have the separator or the border, right? So let me have the questions first. And what is missing is we can do it whenever we finish the questions. So tell me, any questions you guys have? Anything I can go through it again or anything at all? Tell me, what do you guys have for me?
I mean, could you explain to me just really quick one more time how you made the banner image fit into the container?
Of course, of course. Thank you so much for your question. We had this image right here. We have only image tag. I want to tell you that in our logo, in this section right here, we are going to be having only image tag. So it is not necessary to create a div and inside of this div to be inserting a image tag. So let's insert the image tag right alone without having any div. So this is the right way, not this one.
Okay.
Okay, so this right here is not the preferred way because divs are used to group HTML elements, HTML tags. When we are having only one tag, we don't need to place it inside of a single div. So that's why we have it as this. That was the first step. We have an image tag. I gave this image tag a banner image class name. Let's go to the CSS. Here is our banner image. Let me close or comment the styling. Here is our image without styling. Okay. What do we want to do? We want this image to be fitting the whole width of our container, right? So that's why I gave it a width of 100%. Right here, width of 100%. So it is displayed as this. Then I added border bottom to it, this one right here, okay?
Okay.
The image in the beginning was a little bit larger or bigger than this one. What did I do? I went ahead to any photo editor that we have on our laptop or PC, and I cropped this image in order for it to be displayed or having the correct portions of our image, which is like not taking the full container, not taking the like big area of the container. No, just only few amount of it, just as this one. So I went ahead to the photo editor and I cropped it, and boom, it was inserted. And that's it. Okay.
Okay.
Any more questions for the image, for the banner? Did you understand it, Robin?
I think I got it that time. Appreciate you.
Yeah, of course, anytime. I have a question. Is the percentage always in reference to the parent div? Yes, that's a great question from Wally. Thank you so much for this. Let's see right here. Here's our index, our HTML code or our HTML class tags and everything. Here's our image. Where is our image located? Let's see. Where is its parent div? Is it the header? No, it's not the header because we have the header opening tag and closing tag, and the image tag is not included inside of it. Is it the container? Yes, because here is the container opening tag. Here is the container. As you see, closing tag. We have the image right inside of it. So that means the parent div to our image tag is the container. If it is not going to be the container, it's going to be the body. Okay, so it is going to be the div or the body that it is inserted right in. Okay, so the parent of the image is the container, right? We went ahead and said 100% width. This 100% width is going to be applied to take the 100% width of its parent, which is the container. So that's why it was taking from the starting point from our container till the ending point from our container, covering 100% of its width. Does this answer your question, Molly?
Yeah, that does. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. And this is a great question, really. Thank you so much for this question. Okay, let's see for the this div right here. Okay, this div, which is the section left, right? Here is the section left. What is his parent, or who is its parent? Can anyone tell me who is the parent to section left?
The container.
It's
I mean, section.
Main section looks
Yeah.
like.
Yes, that's right. It's going to be main section.
Mhm.
Thank you so much for this, Anna and Robin. Yeah, yes, that's right. Why is this? Because main section, right inside of it is our section left, and section left is inside of our container. So our container is the parent div. Okay. Main section is the child to container, but the section left is a child to main section, direct child to main section. So any CSS property that we are going to be applying is going to be affecting the main section because it is because section left is inside of main section. Okay. Okay. But main section, we didn't have any styling for it till now. So it is still the container, because when we say main section and we don't give any styling to it, it's going to be dealing as the container, which is its parent. Okay. If we went and added any styling to this main section, it would have been the parent to this one. Okay. But our structure, or from looking at it right here, yes, main section is the parent, but since it doesn't have any styling, it's going to be respecting the styling of the container. Okay. Okay. So for the section left, when I say, where is our section left? When I say width of 55%, I'm not talking right now to main section. I'm talking to the container. So I'm saying to the section left, take 55% of the container, because main section doesn't have any styling, doesn't have any width, doesn't have any height. So it is automatically taking the width, height, CSS properties of the container, the parent one. Okay. So when I'm saying 55% of the width, this is to the container. When I say to section right as well, 40%, I'm saying it to the container as well. Okay. Okay. That leaves only the spacing right here that we are going to create. So we need to be pushing this section left a little bit to the right, section right little bit to the right as well. And then we want to be having a separator or a border right here. Okay. So what we are going to do is that I'm going to zip this project, or zip this folder containing all of our images, HTML and CSS code, drop it on our Discord, and you guys are going to be doing this inner space, this separation or separator or border right here. Okay. This, of course, this is not mandatory. This is not assignment. I want you guys to practice on this. And if you have any questions while you are doing this, or want to have my feedback right after you finish them, of course, feel free to reach out to me. And of course, in the next office hours, we are going to say, how can we be doing these positioning, or sorry, these inner spacings. Okay. We still have 2 more minutes in our office hours before we start our lecture. So I can go ahead and hear all of your questions, comments, concerns. If you have anything for me, go ahead. That was our What page? That is our wireframe. Let me have it right here, and have this one right here. Zoom in a little bit. Okay. We have logo, links, banner, section left, section right, section right.
I have a quick question.
Of course.
And I don't know if maybe you can get to it later on, but because I don't know if it's too big of a question for right now, but I know that we're going to be going over like the flex later, but is there ever a reason that we should be doing the inline block versus instead of the flex? Because it seems to me that the flex makes more sense, but I wasn't sure if there's a time where this is a lot better to do it this way.
Thank you so much for your question. Yes, that's right. That is the content of our lecture for today. So we are going to answer this question in the lecture. And that was the thing that I wanted to tell you guys in this lecture. So we can talk about this in the lecture. And you can have your answer right there. But yeah, this is a great question, just as Robin said in the chat. You are going to know the difference. What is the advantages of flex? What are the disadvantages of display inline block? All of these things in the lecture, and which is going to be starting right now. So let me go ahead and stop the recording, and we can start the recording for the lecture. So stop